So hey everybody, it's me, your good buddy Thorn, and we had some cameo issues last time. So I've done a couple quick vids, and I'm gonna slice them in together with this next little thing, and hopefully that'll help out. And kind of talk about the squad composition for Kill Team that I want to do for Astra Militarum, and take a look at the terrain table real quick. So hopefully you enjoy this, and we'll see you next time.
Hei mok var det sång i li. Vakna dikko edelige drenge. De høyre nykken på havet skri. For de hev sovet i for lenge.
So this is the reshoot of that last part of the video. My focus was off. I'm terribly sorry. It's very unprofessional, but nobody pays me for this crap. So, all right. So what we're talking about, getting back to that 3-squad thing. Okay, you've got squad, 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 then your headquarters element, then your platoon. So you've got 9 guys, 9 guys, 9 guys. Usually 3, maybe 4 guys, and realistically that's what you have. And for those 9, you've got a vehicle, 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 plus 1 or 2 vehicles, maybe 3 vehicles for that headquarters section. And in reality, that's kind of what we were running in Iraq in about 2005. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm taking the game that I want to play. So, scratching all that out. Hi, Hobbs. And we go back to what am I building my squad for? Kill Team. Okay, so we get in here. We find the right battle group. And where the hell they are. But it lays down exactly what you need to have based upon what army you're playing with. And there's multiple units, multiple groups in here. And so it kind of gives you the starting point for where you're going to do Astra Militarum. And it's really nice. It gives you some characteristics for that squad if you're building, get more into the role play of it itself. But then the rules, name generators, and then the rules itself. All right. So it tells you the movement, weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, etc., etc. So you know how far you're going to move, how far you're going to shoot, how effective you are at shooting. And that kind of gives you the information you need to know as a squad leader or lieutenant to build that team. Now we're doing the Scions. And going back to that historical look, we've got a squad leader. We've got Team A leader. We got that rifleman. We got that grenade launcher guy, grenadier, and you got that saw gunner. Okay, so that's Team A. Team B is the same thing. Team B with a rifleman, grenade launcher, grenadier, the squad automatic weapon. Now what I've done for Warhammer 40K and the Scions is use the Scion kit to build my team. So here's my squad leader with a hotshot volley or hotshot las gun. Team leader, rifleman, grenade launcher, and saw gunner with a hotshot volley gun, grenade launcher, 2 hotshot laser guns, 3 hotshot laser guns. The rules say your squad leader or your sergeant is going to be armed with a power sword and a pistol. In reality, you're not on the battlefield armed with a pistol, you're going to draw sniper fire. So we went with a rifle. He looks like everybody else, so he doesn't get shot. Team leader B, here's that second team leader, rifleman, grenade launcher, and saw gunner. And that gives you that 9-man squad. Now this is really nice formation. And for kill team, we're not talking very many points. We could probably run 2 squads of this. And when we get on the table, we'll take a look at it and see what that's like. But really, the next thing you need to know is weapons ranges. Now looking at the rules already, the hot shot las gun has got an 18-inch range. The volley gun, or the saw, let's just call it a saw, it's got a 24-inch range. And then the grenade launcher also has a 24-inch range. Knowing that, and when we take a look at the terrain, we know that our gunner, with our pistols and rifles, can shoot out to here. We've got how far effective distances we can engage people with, okay? Now, in addition to this, it's not in the book, and you don't have vehicles in the book, but just because I'm anal retentive about this kind of thing, if this is my squad in Iraq or my future war in kill team, how are they going to get to the battlefield? And so with the Torox kits, I've built 2 gun trucks, and the wheel modifications are for a company called Blood and Skulls. They're on eBay. Just resin parts to change out the tires with the tracks. And this is the half-track version with the heavy gun. And so this is my vehicle setup for that squad. And yeah, I really like it. Okay, so we're down here in the basement now. And hi, Hobbs. And we're down here in the dungeon. And you can see my urban battlefield that I've been working on. This is a game mat by Frontline Games. There's several different types of buildings here. We've got Game Workshop. We got ITC terrain. And we have, oh, here's Pegasus Miniatures. And then I have a few of my own home-built buildings that I have put out here. And this is a 4x6 table. And your normal kill team is only going to be 2 foot by 2 foot. So you're only talking about like that. So a small section of this table will actually be used in kill team, but this is going to be my bigger team for, or bigger game for other stuff. These are Pegasus miniatures, craters. I've got a burned out rhino or a burned out chimera. You can see the scale with the 2 little guardsmen there, and we'll slowly do. Zoom in on those little guns. We'll slowly do some reviews on some of these buildings because they are absolutely gorgeous. Some of these came in the Kill Team box set, and others came in with hi Hobbs. Some of these and others came in on private purchase or separate purchase, like the big cathedral here, and then the larger cathedral in the background. And so here's my crossroads, which is a key piece on any battlefield. And you've got the large buildings here. And yeah, it's a really effective terrain set. It's taken me a few months to build all this stuff and put it together. But it kind of gives you a nice, really nice battlefield. And real happy with it. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about, is building your terrain set. And as you can see, I've got some buildings that are more destroyed than others. That last Pegasus building on the end here is one I'm working on currently. It's got the first floor in it here, but there will be a second floor and then a third floor with a tower up in here. So this is going to be a high building up here. And you've got one street and a street with a crossroad, or in your T intersection. So that's going to be a good place to fight over. But you've got multiple stories of buildings. You've got 3 stories, you've got 2 stories, 3 stories, 1 story up and down this street. And in combat, this is going to be a very effective game, or a place to fight in. yeah, I'm really happy with the table, and we'll do some reviews on each and every piece. So let's take a look at some of the individual buildings that I really like. Okay, so this is a Citadel or Games Workshop building. It's one of their newer ones. It's fantastic. The statues themselves can be attached or not attached. You can use these as separate terrain pieces. It is what it would be normally a centerpiece of the table, but there's several different centerpieces, if you will. The interior, it's multiple floors with plenty of fighting space. The back end is open, so you can add some more ruins to it. And just looking at it, this is a fantastic piece. And all I've done so far is just hit it with a white spray paint real quick, and to try to give it a little bit of color, put it onto the table. And yeah, it's a fantastic piece of terrain. Highly recommended. Right next to it is this other piece of terrain. It's a cathedral with flying buttresses off the side. Another GW game, or another GW piece. It's just fantastic. From this aspect, let's get some of the stuff out of the way so we can move it around a little bit. From this aspect, it's kind of plain, but when you get it onto the side with the flying buttresses, and you've got the individual statues on there, really highly impressive. Oh man, this is nice. It doesn't do it justice. And once again, this is just hit with a white spray paint real quick. And so I got a lot of detailing work to do on this. But man, oh man, hi Hobbs. Hobbs is on the table. Ah, it's a panther. Ah, it's a panther. You can't do anything without the Hobbs. She got up here. No, leave that alone, you bad cat. So, but once again, the interior goes together quite nice. And these two pieces together could actually be one building, I suppose, if you wanted to do it that way. So you've got a huge centerpiece. And this is built right out of the book, so it's not like I had to make it up on my own. And there's the cat to scale. So, and behind that is a ITC building, which is a MDF, which is pretty nice too. So let's get some of this out of the way. We'll take a look at one of those. We've got quite a few smaller ones. And this is one of their smaller buildings, which work really well. And it's like a single dwelling, multiple floor, and it's got egress points on all sides. So, really pretty nice. And not very expensive. This was, I think, was $27. And so for 3 of these, I can buy one of the GW ones. And here's a different one that they do. Once again, supposedly a single dwelling or an office building, but you can see they fit in okay. And once they get painted, they should be all right. Yeah, that's kind of nice. And then, and I don't have this glued together, so we'll just leave that right there. But that's a big building, and the whole interior is cleared out. So yeah, it's going to be really nice to fight over. And then we'll talk about the Pegasus games when I get that finished up. So I'm going to wrap this up, try to get this edited and put out, and I'll see you guys later. Hey everybody, it's me. It's your good buddy Thorn. Hey, we're going to watch a little bit of video. This is my urban terrain fight battleground for Kill Team, and I'm going to kind of walk you through it. This is a game mat, and on it is buildings by both Games Workshop and a few homemade buildings, and a few buildings that I'll put the link in the description. And we're walking down the main street. We've got a burned out Chimera. We turn the corner. Here's a cathedral on the right on the corner there. The large building behind it. And this is at a T intersection, and I think we're going to look down there for a second. We got a couple guardsmen doing a patrol. And there's the cathedral again. And we look down that street. Got a few barricades up. And this is a 6x4 table. We look down this street to another huge office building. And another religious type of building. We pan back around and back on the streets. And now we're crossing by the guardsmen who are standing and patrolling. And here's another Games War Game Shop, Games Workshop, fantastic building. I'll do a full review on it in a while. The two statues out front, and you have it the main street. And now we're going through those the two MDF constructed buildings are on your left. We'll take a better look at them here in a minute. And they're fantastic. We'll do another review on those too. And this is Pegasus Miniatures Chapel. We're kind of looking down the street there, or looking down the kind of like a courtyard back into there. And you can see the interior of the chapel. This is the Pegasus Chapel. We come up to about roof height and look down and across the shattered terrain. We've got GW, we've got Pegasus Miniatures, and then one of the MDF buildings. Now we're going to go scroll past another chapel, which I built myself, and up into the bell tower, which is a perfect sniper post, gives you good observation across the field. And just looking across a burned out city, back towards that main street and the open courtyards, and then back down at the ground level, continuing to cross across the south side of the building. And one of the outer buildings of the one chapel. And to this huge building. I look down the alleyways towards the main street and the burned out chapel. You just kind of get a feeling of how big these buildings are. And we'll cross down another alley and to the large MDF building. It goes up to 3 stories. And plus a little bit of roof that you can fight on. And the interior of this building is bombed out. Plenty of places to hide. As you look back towards the main cathedral. Huge ruins. Absolutely devastation. And then back onto the side street. This is where that T intersection goes into the main street. This is another Pegasus miniature that I'm still working on. I'm not quite done. There's a GW building there on the left. And then the GW chapel with the statues on the pillars. You can see that burned out chimera that we were first at. And then there's a Imperial building by GW. And we come up and look across the street. You see more GW buildings there. On the other side of that burned out chimera. And then we kind of look down the street. We're kind of come all the way around. And like I said, these buildings are fantastic. These GW buildings are just great. And I'll definitely do a review on each and every one of these buildings. Because a 4x6 table, I've actually got more terrain on it now than I probably do need. But we will be doing some test kill team games on this larger table. Just because it gives you a nice feel. Panning back down this T Street. These are also Pegasus miniature craters in the road. This Pegasus miniature large building. I've got 1 floor done or built. Still have 2 more to go. And they really do go well together with the GW
and the MDF buildings. And as you can kind of look out across this burned out town, yeah, it's pretty impressive. And I'll do some filming in the daylight so you can kind of get a good feel for what it looks like. I was doing the night vision camera with the camera on this one, just to kind of give you that rough, rugged look to it. And we pull back so we can see down onto the street. And yeah, this is going to be excellent terrain to fight on. I highly recommend any of these buildings that you see here, and I've made a couple of them, and I'll show you how I did that as time goes on. But one last scan across, and we'll just kind of wrap this up. Yeah, I'm going to have to redo the one video because the camera issues, but we'll get it done. So okay, I'll talk to you guys later.